Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and I am here right now with Michael Sorich. How are you doing right there?
Oh, I am so happy to be here with you with your three-pointed hat. He's a total pirate. I hope there's going to be a pirate video, you know what I mean? We're here in beautiful, wonderful Hampton Hills. Mm-hmm. Is it hills?
No, it's Hampton Roads.
Hampton Roads. I thought there were some hills. I've seen so much going on here, but it's been a great time. Everyone is so nice. I want to stay in Virginia because you know that bumper sticker, Virginia's for lovers. Everyone has been absolutely lovely, kind, very respectful, and it's just been a joy meeting everyone.
Yeah.
Including you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I love his energy. Hey, I just found out some stuff about him. We're about to do an interview real quick. So you know the people want me to ask some questions. Are you ready for this?
Go shoot him.
Okay, so you were just mentioning how you directed a lot of things. Like, for people that don't know what you directed, what are some things that you've directed?
Okay, well, let's go backwards to forward. So I directed the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. I directed To Your Eternity the first season. I directed God of High School. I directed the original Power Rangers going all the way back when they would come up and do their ADR. Saber-tooth tiger! I also directed Moncoli Nights, Flint the Time Detective. I was the first director with Wendy Lee on Digimon. We co-directed that. Let's see, what other ones am I forgetting? It's been a lifetime of great work and working with a lot of very talented people. So that's been the best part.
That's awesome. So I want to ask you now, like, what is the one thing that you directed that you were just really proud of?
Oh, I'll tell you, this is kind of a sleeper. There's one called To Your Eternity. And that one was a very interesting concept because it was the concept of the anime that I appreciated so much. Basically, it's the story of a being that comes from another world, but it's not like all these alien stories where he wants to dominate. He just wants to experience what it's like to be on Earth. So he inhabits a rock. He starts as an inanimate object, and then he slowly but surely inhabits higher up the life chain. You know, he becomes a dog, then becomes a boy, and then once he becomes a young person, a human, he starts to experience what it's like to be a human, and it's all those questions about, you know, what is a human experience? Right. What is it like to experience love? What is it like to, it's things we don't think about, but so it's very introspective, and yet it really, you know, it makes you think about things you haven't thought about. And it's the story of there's a girl in it, and she's a young lady, and I don't want to spoil it, but she passes away, and it's like when that happens in that series, it absolutely breaks your heart. And it's not a melodramatic thing, it's just like, oh my God, that poor life force is gone, you know? It was really very special, very special.
That's good. That's awesome. I really love that, man.
And they're doing season 3 now, I guess, but I'm not directing it.
Okay. Well, hey, y'all make sure that y'all check out season 3 when it does come out. To Your Eternity. So I want to ask you now, when you're not behind the microphone and you're not directing, like, what are some hobbies that you enjoy doing?
Oh, I'm a disc golfer. I'm a huge disc golfer. I actually went to the World Championships last year, and they have like a skills competition, and I became the world champion for my age group at distance throwing. I can really throw we don't call them a frisbee. I can throw a disc really far, and I was very happy to do that. But the competition was very stiff, so I'm hoping to do better next year. I did not do so well in the disc golf tournament. I ended up 30th out of 52. So, you know, we all can learn to improve a little more, right? That's what life's about, you know.
Yeah. So what's the furthest that you've thrown a disc?
I've thrown 400 feet, so that's like about 135 yards, 133 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, but dope. Yeah, I have a good time with it. It's a good way to get your walk in, you know. I used to have a dog, and I love my dog. Oh my God, he was such a special spirit to me. You know, people talk about spirit animals. He was a special spirit. He really was. And I actually got cancer, and when I got cancer, it sounds very weird, but he got the same cancer I did, which is really kind of very sad because well, not unfortunately, I'm glad I survived, but unfortunately he didn't. So I used to walk him every day, and it became a thing of how am I going to start walking again? You know, what's going to keep me walking? And I'd always liked throwing a frisbee, and so when COVID came, you know, they didn't want anyone to, you know, be close to each other. So I started walking in the park and throwing the Frisbee. And then I remembered that there are Frisbee golf courses, disc golf courses, not Frisbee, they're disc golf courses. And so I started going out there and playing with guys. What was great is you were never close enough to worry about anything. It was natural social distancing. And I enjoyed the sport so much that I just kept doing it and doing it, having a ball with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm glad that you survived.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My condolences to your dog. What was your dog's name?
Rio, little Rio. He was the best dog. He was a dog that would eat guavas. We had a guava tree, and they're like little round green balls, and I could roll it to him, and he'd go and fetch it and bring it back. He'd fetch it and bring it back, and I'd think, okay, now you can eat it. And he'd be like, all right, he would wait until I told him he could eat it. He was the best dog. Schnauzers rule. He was a little schnauzer. Yeah.
So look, man, I'm a professional wrestler. Benjamin Banks, the #1 hero. Are you a wrestling fan?
I love wrestling. I did wrestling when I was a kid. I did the real Olympic wrestling.
Yeah.
And I have a great appreciation for anyone that does that because, physically it's one of the hardest things to do in the world. And then studying the whole aspect of strategy and being in a position and knowing what to do when you're in that position, to be able to turn it around, to do a reversal, to do a takedown, to escape. I mean, it's so involved and so great. And I like a lot of wrestlers, but I like I'm kind of old school wrestlers. I go all the way back to the Iron Sheik and those guys. Bobo Brazil, Freddie Blassie. Listen here, you pencil neck geek. When I get a hold of you, that was Freddie Blassie. It was really old school. That was like the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles in the early 70s, early 1970s. Yeah, those guys were around. Bobo Brazil with the coconut butt. He'd hit you in the head with that. That was it. He could break a player pliers with his hands. The guy's hands were unbelievable. And El Gato Gordman, we had it. Yeah, it was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I'm 36 years old. Y'all don't tell anybody, but you
36. You're 25.
I appreciate it, man. But it's like you was naming a lot of people that I know. And I didn't grow up with them, but as a professional wrestler,
like Coco Beware.
More like like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase.
Ooh, yeah. Because one thing, Benjamin, the cream rises to the top.
That was dope. So look, final question for you.
Sure.
What is a project that you worked on that you feel is underrated and you would recommend for people to check out?
Well, there's a lot of them. We talked earlier about For Your Eternity. So another great one, I think, I just think that Naruto has so much going on in it, It's great. It's kind of a universal theme that I think a lot of us go through, which is being the outsider and wanting to be accepted. And, I think a lot of our fans are like myself. We're outsiders and we want to be accepted for who we are and what we want to do. And I believe in total acceptance. So I think, it's a great lesson in life just to, allow people to be who they're going to be, and out of that we have growth and we have diversity. And I think that's so important in our world. There should be no cookie cutters. There's no rubber stamps. Be an individual. And thank you, Benjamin, for asking.
Yeah,
very kind.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Oh, well, they can find me at M Sorich on Instagram, and that's about it. That's about all I do right now.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you guys for watching. Y'all stay tuned for some more interviews. Peace.
With Benjamin. Ba, ba, ba.